study will be finished by fall?
Correct.
And then when would work actually start?
That's dependent on getting funding.
Okay.
So, we've requested try to get funding so that we can start work in 2014, but we haven't heard back whether that's the case or not. But so, we have money right now to finish the feasibility study, and it's just a matter of whether we get further federal funds to be able to construct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, in my excitement to bring you this news, I failed to note that the certification has been received regarding compliance with the notification of this meeting. So I do digress. We will go now to the treasurer's report.
My report has been passed out tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Law director's report.
I would ask the council members to move to go into an executive session, including a regular meeting, so we can talk about some pending litigation. That's what I would add this time.
Safety service director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. As everyone probably has seen, the 6th Street and Jefferson, the lights are on 4-way flash with temporary stop signs. It'll be that way for 90 days, and then we will take the light down. The bid opening for that project is this Thursday, so we will have a contractor probably by the end of the week. Our guys are also out starting to patch holes, so watch for them. We got the hot box trailer out there patching holes at this time. I want to talk a little bit about brush pickup. Brush pickup will begin on April 1st. We will do the entire town the 1st and the 8th, so we will not have a specific area of town. We're going to go through the entire town those first 2 weeks. Beginning on April 15th, we'll go back to our regular schedule. It'll be west on the 15th, east on the 22nd, and vice versa. We'll just keep on going with that schedule. If we miss a Monday, there's a holiday, we will do it on Tuesday in that particular area. I believe our cutoff spot was Madison Street, if I'm not mistaken. Madison to the west and Madison to the east. So that's going on. Remember, try to keep it in 4-foot lengths. There's a bunch of piles around town now that are just all heaped up. Keep it some semblance so our guys can get to it to be able to run it through the chipper. When it's piled up with brush and everything. Also, I've seen some stumps. We do not pick up stumps. You have to get rid of those. And rose bushes and things like that do not go into this also. The last thing for, Mike might announce it too, but the Easter egg hunt is Saturday at 10 o'clock at the courthouse. Sorry to take your thing.
That's okay.
But Jennifer wanted to make sure that I put that out there. At the courthouse, 10 o'clock, supposed to be 50 degrees, I think, so it should be a good day for the kids. And that's all I have tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Police chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. After watching the previous council meeting, I know it's a tough act to follow, but I have nothing tonight. Thank you, Madam President.
Fire chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. The only thing I do have to report is the truck that we refurbished is back in service 100%. I want to thank Mr. Copper for coming down and taking a look at it. Just remember, all of you are more than welcome to come down and look anytime that you want, but we are very pleased with the results of saving that money. We're estimating we saved about $425,000 in handling this matter. So thank you, Madam President.
Under correspondence, I have an invitation from the Ottawa County Improvement Corporation for the 2013 Business and Industry Awards. It's Wednesday, April 24th. It'll be at the Camp Perry Clubhouse. It starts at 5:30 with the social hour, with dinner starting at 6:30 along with awards. It's $30 per person. You have to RSVP by April 17th. If you'd like some more information, the clerk will have the invitation, and I'm sure if you call Mrs. Porter, she will RSVP for you. I will take a motion to accept the correspondence as stated, including the emergency services minutes of 3/19 and the treasurer's report.
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Could I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Snell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I will now go to the reading of ordinances and resolutions. We have the third readings this evening. We'll go to the second readings, and will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 12-13.
Ordinance 12-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety of Service to submit an application to the Ohio Department of Transportation for transportation enhancement funds for the West Lake Shore Drive sidewalk project and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 12-13? Seeing none, it'll be moved to the April 9th meeting for its third reading. We have no new readings for ordinances and resolutions. We have a tabled ordinance and resolution. Mr. Coppler?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we take ordinance 0713 off the table.
I have a motion to take ordinance 07-13 off the table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Listrau. Clerk, please.
You'd be able to adopt, and we wouldn't be able to retain the emergency clause.
So it'll be adopted for the next week.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to abstain from voting on this item.
We're just going to put it back on the table first, okay?
Okay.
Would the clerk please call the roll? We're taking ordinance 07-13 off of the table. It's currently a tabled ordinance. I'm going to take it off the table so we can vote again.
Kathy Mount.
Yes.
Oh, he's not good. Mark Hopper.
Yes.
Randy Lipstraw.
Yes.
Dakota Fregas.
Yes.
He can vote to take it off the table.
Yes.
Ordinance 07-13 has been taken off the table. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only? Ordinance 07-13.
Ordinance 07-13. An ordinance establishing a video service provider fee to be paid by any video service provider offering video service in the city of Port Clinton, authorizing the Director of Safety and Service to give notice to video service providers of video service provider fee and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This is also the third reading of this ordinance, by the way. Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 07-13? Mr. Coppler?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 07-13.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 07-13. Do I have a second?
I second that, Madam President.
Thank you, Mrs. Mel. Any discussion? Mr. Coppler?
The Finance Committee met and discussed ordinance 07-13, and Mr. Snyder abstained from voting, but the Finance Committee recommends adopting ordinance 07-13.
Any further discussion? If not, would the clerk please call the roll?
Dakota Fregas.
Yes.
Randy Lipstraw.
Yes.
Mark Hopper.
Yes.
Kathy Mount.
Yes.
You have to call on Mr. Snyder. He
Mike
has to
Snyder.
note that he's abstained.
Present.
Did she call?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you just have to note that he abstained. Okay. Thank you. Ordinance 07-13 has passed. It should be noted that there is no emergency clause in this. We don't have enough votes to pass the emergency clause, so it will be in effect in 30 days. Business from the floor, Mr. Coppler.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple quick things. Ms. Benko, since she's not here, asked that we announce the Planning and Development Committee will meet next Tuesday, April 2nd at 5:30. And just want to wish everyone a happy Easter, and hopefully you get to be able to enjoy some family time this weekend. That's it.
Mrs. Mel.
Just happy Easter to everybody. I hope you have a great time, and I hope it's 50 or 60 or 70.
Here, here.
That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a thank you, although March is not over. I see some items for the Kiwanis Circle of Influence food pantry event that the Kiwanis Club has been doing all month long. We'll make sure those items get to the St. Vincent de Paul food pantry. Again, that continues through this month, so if you see a Kiwanian please feel free to provide them with non-perishable food items. Since we're going into April, it's a little premature. I'm meeting tomorrow morning to finalize everything, but during the month of April, I'll be working with an area fuel provider, gas station. They're going to be providing a gift card of a rather substantial denomination, and we're going to be selling raffle tickets to benefit the Port Clinton 4th of July festivities. So for the entire month of April, those will be available at their various retail locations throughout the Port Clinton area. Right now, as it stands, the 4th of July committee has just over $4,200 in the kitty, as I think I've reiterated multiple times. $8,000 to do the fireworks, $10,000 to do everything. If you'd like to make a donation, make checks payable to the Port Clinton Chamber of Commerce Foundation, drop them off or mail them to the Port Clinton Chamber of Commerce with the memo fireworks, or the word fireworks in the memo section, and that makes sure they go into the right account. May 1st is kind of the go, no-go date for the fireworks. So we're running short on funds and short on time here to let the fireworks people know what's going to happen on the 4th of July. And then finally, Madam President, the Emergency Services Committee met last week, and with the assistance of Chief Hickman, I'm sorry, this isn't final, but with the assistance of Chief Hickman, we did review the liquor permits throughout the city, and at this point, I'd like to make a motion that the city waive its right to object to the renewal of any liquor permits throughout the city.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor that the city waive its right to appeal any liquor license in the city for their renewal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Lutzstroff. Any discussion? Mr. Stein?
Thank you. The committee did review, again with the assistance, and the committee voted unanimously to ask the council to vote in favor of adoption.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thanks for doing the research. I appreciate your committees.
Thank you. And now finally, tip from the chief comes from Fire Chief Ken Johnson. I suppose Police Chief too. Fire Chief Ken Johnson. Weather's getting warmer. Not everybody's as crazy as me and grills in the winter, so people will start to pull their grills out. Please make sure a couple of things. Check the hoses. Make sure your gas is connected properly. If you use charcoal, make sure you dispose of the hot coals in the proper fashion. Don't put them in a paper sack on your front porch. As you're grilling, even though it may be raining, make sure you have at least 10 feet above you, whether that's clearance of a carport, a garage, trees, and make sure that you're at least 10 feet from a structure. Anything else related to grills?
Don't put the charcoal in the dumpster either until you're sure it's cold.
Thank you.
Front porch dumpster.
Okay. And call these guys, they'll help you take that taste test. With that, thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. DeFreitas.
I just have one thing. I want to thank the members of the Lighthouse Conservancy for showing me their proposed location at Waterworks Park for the Port Clinton Lighthouse. Their passion for conserving the past was apparent by their willingness to brave the bitter cold in order to share their vision. It was very cold. I also want to thank Dr. Smothers for taking me to the actual lighthouse at Brands Marina and showing me all the work that they have done to the structure. I was impressed by all the work that they have volunteered to preserve this piece of history. Lighthouses are an important part of our lake's history and draw many visitors a year to the lake. According to the 2012 visitor survey done by the Visitors Bureau, when visitors were asked the activities that interested them most, 60% of the respondents stated lighthouses. I believe that when the time is right and we reach a more clear understanding as to the long-term financial obligations to the city, the lighthouse could be an asset to the city's waterfront. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Lutzstroff.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Members of the audience, but before I call on anybody, I want to remind the members of the audience of a couple things. One, when I call upon you, you need to stand up and state your name and address for the record, and that's for the clerk to put into the minutes. Second of all, you raise your hand and I will call upon you to speak. You don't speak out of turn. If you do, I will call you out of order, and if it persists, I will ask you to leave. So if we could just remember those few little rules, they're not much. So any members of the audience wish to speak? Mr. Higgins. Mr. Russell.
I'm Jim Russell, the owner of Bell Mel Tavern, here with my wife Nancy. Our place of residence is 1940 Douglas Avenue in Port Clinton. And what I want to bring up to council is, for years I have tried to secure a high liquor license. You know, I've operated on a D1, a D2, and a D6, which allows me to sell beer, wine, and up to 42 proof alcohol. I didn't qualify for a license with the entertainment district for a number of reasons. I was outside of the boundary lines, and I'm abutted by residential areas, so I did not qualify for that. And I've made applications numerous times during the course of my business to try to get a license, a higher license, directly from the Department of Liquor Control. I've been behind a number of applications, and none were ever made into fruition. I contacted an attorney in Columbus. There's one way, and it's not unusual, and it's called, what is it called, Nancy? It's called Trexting a license. You can get a license from any county in the state of Ohio if the owner wants to sell the license by itself, and he's willing not to sell the real estate. Ordinarily, you have to buy the personal property, the real estate, the license, and everything, the entire business. But licenses can be secured from business owners who want to sell the license only and not the others. And it's a Trexting process. The only way, if I were to get a license, he was to secure one for me, the only way it wouldn't go through is if the local municipality would object, and they have 30 days to object once the lawyer secured the license and contacted the Department of Liquor Control. So what he wanted me to do is make sure that the council would not object if he were to be able to secure one of these licenses. Because we'd go through all that, and then the council or the municipality would object, and it would all be for naught. So exactly what procedure I would do to bring it up to council, it's basically a guarantee of no objection if he were to find one of these licenses.
I don't know that we can guarantee that. I can tell you that I can't remember a time that I've been on council that we've rejected one. It comes directly from the liquor board. It doesn't come through you. You don't bring it in. The liquor board sends it to us. It comes up on our agenda, and it'll just say that so-and-so is selling a license, and it gives the name of that business, and that